George Japan's Q&A, let's go!
Just tell how you're doing these days.
Very good!
What's your favorite food?
My mom's cooking.
What motivated you to start a YouTube channel? And what keeps you going?
I wanted to be popular and famous, and I want to be popular and famous more.
Have you found the perfect girl for you?
Actually, not yet.
What traditions are your favorite and which ones do you want to see changed?
I like hanami, which is cherry blossom viewing, and eat food and drink alcohol under the tree of cherry blossom. Japanese tradition I dislike is hanko culture. Hanko is a small stamp with a personal seal used for signing documents and contracts. Hanko is considered as more secure than a signature in Japan, since it is believed that they cannot be forged. But these days, the Japan's government has been attempting to discourage the use of hanko because it's meaningless and causing inconvenience when you sign some documents but you forget bringing your hanko. Hanko is one of the reasons that causes the fact that less than 10% of administrative procedures can be completed online in Japan. And also it causes extremely a time-consuming paper process. Japan is not an advanced country anymore, except for Japan's toilet.
What are some typical problems foreigners face while immigrating to Japan? What are the best ways to overcome them?
There's a lot of things to mention when it comes to this. So I'm going to share you 3 typical problems that you might face when you immigrate to Japan. Number 1. Language barrier. Language barrier is one of the most frustrating things on this planet. When I stayed in the US and Canada, I had a really hard time due to my lack of English skills. I'm gonna talk about my stories later. At the time, I thought I should have studied basic, useful English words and phrases more when I was in Japan. So I would recommend that you learn basic Japanese before coming to Japan. I don't want you to be like me. Learn basic Japanese through my videos or Nihongo Dekita with Sayaka sensei. Her channel is really good to learn basic Japanese words and phrases. I put a link in the description down below, so go check it out after watching this video. Number 2. Too much paperwork. As I mentioned earlier, for official registration forms with a local city hall, creating a bank account, renting a house, signing up, home internet connection, insurance, etc. And most of it must be done in person or submitted via post, as paper documents need to be official signed or hanko. Number 3. Visa stuff. But I'm sorry, I'm not confident to explain this topic. So I would recommend that you watch this video. Which visa did you use to come to Japan? Which was taken by TAKASHii from Japan only 2 months ago. So the info shared in this video should be new. I put a link in the description down below, so watch his video after watching my video.
I was wondering, have you ever had any problems with language barriers? And if so, what are your stories?
Okay, now let's talk about my language barrier experiences. I've talked about it in this video, but here's my heartbroken story. So it was in 2015 when I studied abroad in the US and stayed with the host family. My English was terrible at the time, so I had a really hard time communicating with them. One day I said something like, "Can I drink coffee?" What I meant was, "Can I drink coffee?" In Japanese, we say not coffee, but kohi. I didn't know how to pronounce it in English at the time, and my host frowned at me like this and said, "Huh?" Some Americans often say, "Huh?" when they want the person to repeat what he said. But "huh?" is a very offensive word in Japanese. It depends on how you say it, but basically it means, "What the fuck are you saying?" in a very offensive way. So I was like, did I say something wrong? Since then, I was in shock and couldn't talk to my host for about 2 weeks.
Are we doing very good or just regular good today?
Very good!
What are some American foods you don't get the appeal of? And what are some Japanese dishes you're surprised Americans don't like much?
To be honest, I like pretty much everything about American dishes, but I'm not a big fan of colorful cakes. Too much food coloring. And I was surprised that some Americans I know don't like mentaiko, which is spicy cod roll. For me, mentaiko is super delicious.
I know this is a hard choice, but do you like Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer more?
Demon Slayer.
Can you please share us with one of your most fun childhood memories?
Playing tag in the mountain.
Is it true that people in Japan are so used to minor earthquakes?
Yes, most of us are so used to minor earthquakes. So even when it occurs, we hardly go outside to get to safety as long as it's not a huge one.
What are the differences between formal and informal Japanese? What makes a sentence formal or informal?
I'd say it's almost the same as English. It's like but or however, demo, shikashi, so or therefore, だからなので, think about or consider, 考える、検討する, If you use these words, your sentences will be formal in most cases, right? And vice versa. But Japanese language has a lot more formal and informal words than English. So it's a bit hard to remember all of these. So all I can say is, ganbatte!
Why did FoodWars Season 3 end so early?
Now, New Japan's episodes are coming soon, so don't miss out.
Have you been to Okinawa, and what is your favorite restaurant there?
I've been to Okinawa more than 10 times, and my favorite restaurant is Oyaji no Maguro, which is located in Senagajima Umikaji Terrace. They serve a delicious magurodon, which is fresh tuna rice bowl, and you should definitely try this. This is marvelous.
Do you speak any other language apart from English and Japanese? If not, which one would you like to learn?
No, I speak only Japanese and English, so I'd like to learn Spanish and Korean.
You are a legend. Love you, man.
I love you all!
What are some places in Tokyo that families should avoid?
I would say you should avoid Love Hotel Hill in Shibuya. Love Hotel is a type of short-stay hotel for the purpose of sexual activities. Love hotels are found all over Japan, but as for Love Hotel Hill in Shibuya, many love hotels can be found together there. The reason I chose Love Hotel Hill in Shibuya is many years ago I went to a ramen shop in Shibuya that is really close to Love Hotel Hill with my parents. You can actually see a lot of love hotels from there. That was one of the most awkward moments in my life.
When I was in Tokyo, I had a matcha latte. Do you drink it? Do Japanese drink it? Or is it only a tourist thing?
Yes, we do. It's not the tourist thing at all. I love matcha latte, matcha frappuccino, matcha ice cream, matcha stuff.
What is some of the best tasting Japanese food you have ever had?
Unaju or hitsumabushi, which is grilled eel rice bowl. This is the best Japanese food ever. Especially the one that I tasted in Nagoya was the best. The restaurant's name is Maruya Honten. You should definitely go check it out.
Can you teach us some Japanese unique sayings or tongue twisters?
Namamugi, namagome, namatamago, which means raw wheat, raw rice, raw egg. Let's try. Namamugi, namagome, namatamago. Namamugi, namagome, namatamago.
Why most Japanese can't speak English? Is it because of bad English education in Japan, or is it something else?
There is 3 reasons for this. First, the Japanese schools put emphasis on grammar rather than speaking during 6 years English language study for some reason. Second, Japanese people tend to be afraid of making mistakes when they speak English. Finally, we don't have many opportunities to speak English in Japan. If Japan could become an English-speaking country as a second language in the future, I think it'd be great. So I have to work hard as an English teacher in Japan in order to change the Japan's English education system and boost their confidence when they speak English with my very good.
Give me the I have a pen, I have an apple vibes.
I have a pen, I have an apple.
What are things you don't like about Japan?
Hanko and earthquake.
Is it very common for Japanese people to live in apartments for their whole life?
I would say it depends on where you live. For example, people in Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka, such big cities, most of them tend to live in apartments. So like me, my parents, most of my friends live in apartments in Tokyo. But like people in Akita, Toyama, and Yamagata, such, not big cities, most of them tend to live in their own house for their whole life.
Would you consider dating a Latina, Indian, or black woman?
Yes, of course. Anyone who is kind, has a nice smile, and loves me.
Can we make that image a meme, please?
Sure.
Is Grave of the Fireflies the saddest movie ever?
Yes, it's definitely the saddest movie ever. I literally cry every time I watch it.
キノコの山 or タケノコの里。私はキノコの山です。For those of you who don't know, these are 2 very popular Japanese chocolate snacks that are very similar, but there is a huge debate in between which one tastes better.
Takenoko no sato.
Why, you are very good.
By nature.
Would you rather live in the city or by a beach?
Beach.
If you could move to any place in the world, where would it be?
San Diego.
Why do you want to move to San Diego?
Nice weather, beautiful beach.
I'm currently learning Japanese. Any tips? What can I do to improve my speaking Japanese skill if I don't have the environment and a native speaker to talk to? Do you think it's worth it learning Japanese for anime or manga?
When you learn any languages, the first most important thing is the process of studying must be fun. If it's no fun, you never get motivated and keep doing it on a daily basis. So find the way that makes you excited and immerse yourself. Let me give you some examples. You could learn the basic vocabulary and the basic grammar from a textbook or Duolingo if it's fun for you. Or watch YouTube videos that teach you basic Japanese, like Sayaka sensei, Misa sensei, Miku sensei, and me, George-sama. Or even watch anime if it's fun for you. Why not? One of the ways that I learned English was watching Harry Potter. Would you recommend watching Harry Potter to someone who wants to learn English? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for me, it was quite an enjoyable way to learn English, and it worked for me. So if you like anime or manga, that's a perfect learning material for you. But in case you can't put Japanese subtitles on anything you like watching, then I'd recommend that you try learning Japanese with Netflix. Just type Japanese into the search field or browse within the categories such as Japanese TV shows, dramas, movies, and anime. Many of them have both Japanese and English audio and subtitles. And I'd like you to try these steps to improve your Japanese skills. Number 1. Put Japanese subtitles on anything you like watching. Number 2. Take a note of everything people say. Number 3. Look up the words you don't know on the internet. Number 4. Practice the sentences that you took a note of out loud. Sounds hard, but this is just what I did when I learned English, and I hope these steps apply to you. And the second most important thing is you gotta practice speaking the language you want to learn. If you just watch YouTube, Netflix, anime, it doesn't really help you in order to be able to speak any languages fluently. After you learn new words, new phrases, you gotta practice them as many times as you can. That's it. You can do it!
How do you say easy peasy Japanesey in Japanese?
とても簡単 or easy peasy Japanese.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
It would be Switzerland to see my friends.
What's your favorite alcohol or cocktail?
Asahi beer.
What are Japanese people's view of Sweden and Swedish people?
Beautiful country, rich in nature, and Sweden ranked high in the World Happiness Report. And I think Swedish people are so polite and there is a lot of beautiful women.
I was wondering if you can do a flip.
Yes, in 2015.
What are some good Japanese movies to check out right now?
Kimi no Na wa, or Your Name.
How to learn kanji first?
Just write it until you memorize it. That's how all Japanese kids do. The longest way around is the shortest way home. Believe me.
Please tell us about your hobbies.
YouTube.
Will George Japan ever collaborate with Chris England?
Maybe. We'll see.
When's your birthday and how old are you?
February 18th. I'm 26 now, but I'm turning 27 very soon. Thank you for your birthday message!
Have you been to other countries than the US and Japan? Where did you have the best experience?
I've been to Canada, Korea, Thailand, Philippines, Cambodia, Singapore. I'd say I had the best experience in Canada. Because first, I worked at a Japanese restaurant called Kinjo in Dalhousie, Calgary, and I met a lot of friends there and I had so much fun. And second, I love Banff, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Canada is an amazing country, eh?
What is the meaning of life for you?
Do what you want.
I have nothing to ask and I'm sure this question will not be taken.
You never know the future.
Was it hard for you to learn English?
It was easy peasy Japanesey. Just kidding. Freaking hard.
Is it true that Japanese people take a bath every day?
Yes, how about you?
Very good.
No Japanese accent, no very good. Just do like very good. Repeat after me, very good.
What's your favorite Japanese saying?
人生一度きり, which means you only live once.
Neko or inu?
I'm a neko person.
I'm learning Japanese and I noticed that you don't really use space in between words when writing sentences. I'm using Duolingo to learn, so is that actually a thing or just a Duolingo thing?
That's a thing. Normally, Japanese is written without spaces. So when we write Japanese sentences, basically we use hiragana, katakana, kanji, and punctuation in order to distinguish where one word ends and the next one starts easily. But text written in only hiragana or katakana, like in books for very small children, may use spaces, but generally we don't use them. For example, if you want to write a sentence like ジョージはとても優しくてかっこいいです, which means George is very kind and cool. In hiragana, it looks like this. In katakana, looks like this. And using combination of hiragana, katakana, kanji, and punctuation, it looks like this. These two are a little bit hard to distinguish where one word ends and the next one starts. But take a look at this. It's much easier to distinguish where one word ends and the next one starts. Like ジョージはとても優しくてかっこいいです。So repeat after me. ジョージはとても優しくてかっこいいです。
学生時代モテましたか？
すっごいモテました。
What's your goal?
10 million subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Hi.
はい、こんにちは。
Your likes and dislikes.
My likes are sunny days and my dislikes are cloudy days and rainy days.
Is Japanese easy peasy Japanesey?
Yes, indeed.
Please do British accent.
Whoa.
You should make merch that says very good on it and has a picture of you doing thumbs up.
That's a good idea. Let's do it. If there is anyone who is good at design, I'd appreciate it if you could send me the design saying very good and having a picture of me doing thumbs up. My email address is in the description down below and I'm gonna choose the best one and put it onto my merch t-shirt. But I'm not gonna give you prize money or something like that. All proceeds from my merch will be donated to Daredemo Hero as always. Alright guys, that's all. Thank you for your amazing questions and thank you for always watching my videos. I love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.